Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time we're going to take a little look here at 1967's Swing with Scooter, number 7 from DC Comics. But before we do that, a little plug here. Remember, I've got my two books are available. Christmas is coming at the Bizarre Brain Comics Anthology, and Bizarre Brain Comics presents Heroes, 2 comic books, $7.99 each. First one with some humor, that's Anthology, and Heroes one is just that. Heroes got some superhero stuff, a little bit of horror stuff, more mainstream stuff. Suitable for kids, probably tweens and up. And remember, and Christmas is coming, so if you don't have yours, you put it on your Christmas list. Or maybe you know somebody who would like a copy. A kid, one of the kids, or another friend who likes comics. That'll work too. It's available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and other online outlets, or you can just Google it and it'll give you a link going right to it. So here we are with Swing with Scooter, number 7 from 1967, and there's no credits, but the best I can get for 4 credits are written by Barbara Friedlander. Oh, I can't read my own writing. And art by Jack Miller, possibly others. And Scooter is an American teen humor title from DC Comics, which ran from 1966 to 1972, totaling a total of 36 issues. And of course, it ran until DC canceled their entire humor line. It featured Scooter, who was a teenage British musician living in the U.S. It was drawing on the popularity of the British rock and roll bands such as the Beatles, who were popular at the time. And Scooter was created by romance comics writer Barbara Friedlander. Yeah, Friedlander, that's it. And Jack Miller and Joe Orlando, who was the editor. When Henry Scarpelli took over the art with issue number 14, he used a more Archie-like stylization, because this is more just slightly cartoonified, realistic, but not in quite the same Archie vein as far as art was concerned. And during the Scooter run, he met up with various Justice League of America members, so squarely putting him in the DC superhero universe, even though obviously he's not one. And I like this cover. This is one has period with the go-go checks across the top, and a wild and interesting stylization to the masthead, including Scooter on a scooter. That's why he's got the nickname of Scooter, because he rides this Vespa or Vespa type scooter. And they use a lot of mod lingo and stuff in here, and some the fashions and the like. Sometimes it's used incorrectly. But it's a fun little romp, and a nice change of pace from DC's regular fare, as well as a nice change of pace from the other, like the Archie style teen humor. And I don't know, does anybody out there know, have they ever reprinted this in, say, like a reprint volume or anything? I don't know. And that would be kind of cool. I know most of the modern collectors, and readers, they don't want that. I know. I would find it quite interesting. And of course, this is kind of a rough copy. Most of my comics, older comics, are rough copies because that's how you can get them cheaply. And I get them primarily to read. Oh, here it says, "Lucky teenagers, you have been drafted as guinea pigs in the most revolting, sickening experiment in the entire history of mad scientists in comic mags. Zip! Can't you wait until we're old enough to vote?" Of course, he would have said that with a British accent. Okay. And across the top, kind of like they did with the JLA, has their cast of main characters: Scooter, Cynthia, Kenny, Cookie, Sylvester, Penny, and Malibu. It says, "The crazy mad scientist who hated Little Red Riding Hood or Goldilocks. Get lost." And it has nothing to do with anything. And here, Scooter and his group of friends, who they keep calling a groupie. Obviously, Barbara Friedlander did not understand what the word groupie meant. And they're all kind of bored, and it's got I guess they're staying with Scooter's aunt, who's the one upside down, and they decided they're going to go for a ride in the country. And Scooter and one of the girls take off on his scooter, and everyone else gets in. It looks like a big old roadster. Looks like I suddenly can't remember the name. And they stop someplace outside having a picnic, listening to tunes, playing tunes, and having a good old time, when suddenly the clouds pop up, and it starts raining, thundering, lightning, and they rush to this spooky old looking house with all the signs: "Danger, termites at work. Beware of the butterflies." And this gigantic Japanese fellow, and of course the racial and cultural sensitivities are not the best here, with his goofy accent and racially insensitive depiction. But we'll get into that. He lets them come in because they need to get out. He bongs a big old gong for the master, who is the mad scientist, and his name is the Asian fellow is Mashugana. Oh yeah, and his master, who's the little mad scientist, comes out, chastises him for bonging the gong. And but it's interrupted here by a single page gag page featuring Cookie and Scooter. Well, meanwhile they try to get out and meet the mad scientist's wife, who is Elizabeth Taylor Caramba. That's her name, Elizabeth-Taylor. So her first name is Elizabeth Taylor, and her last name is Caramba. And the mad scientist, his name is, and I think it's inspired a little bit on the what do they call not the Munsters, the Addams Family. And he's Professor Kichiku Caramba. And she chastises her husband, and they invite everyone for dinner, eating some weird stuff, and have the surprise coffin cake. Cut the cake open, and a bat flies out, and they said, "Well, we're ready to go." And most funny, they can't leave. They try to make a run for it. Clang! They're trapped. They're go down into the dungeons. And they're running and rushing. Finally, trapdoor sliding down. But you can see this is a kind of story that's much longer than most of what you would see with an Archie type teen story. And he gets down into the dungeon where the mad scientist has his laboratory, and he's got all these gigantic humanoid vegetables, but they're mindless. It says son of string beans, superior squash, carrot top, lettuce lass, stuff like that. And his objective is he's got the gizmo. Even though they try to get away, doesn't work. And their minds are transported or into those giant plants. And he says they're going to help me take over the world. And here's a bunch of gags. There are sight gags. There are verbal gags, and of all sorts in here. And they're getting used to being who they are. And the mad scientist is having a fit and trying to say, well, it's not gonna. Now this is when he reveals it's to conquer the world, but he can't conquer the world. Even his big Asian assistant says, Professor, there's no doubt that you are last of great red hot mad scientists. All agree? We all agree. It's kind of a running gag on this page. We agree. But you did all this work for this stuff, but you have no plan for them on how to conquer the world with these vegetable people. So, oh yeah, you're right. Oh crap! And so he zaps them back, and lets them all go free. But they rush out because the lady is going to give them some of her chicken sukiyaki. Bad, which was they had for dinner, and they hated it. And here's the Aqua Beast, an ad for an issue of Aquaman. And we have an issue of Brave and the Bold with Spectre and the Flash. And oh, is this an article? Oh, I thought it was a letters page, but it's not. Then we have a shorter backup story, which is kind of cute. Love on Wheels. All the girls are on this scale, and it gives you your fortune, all kinds of fortunes. And Cookie says it's going to ask. She's going to be asked to go steady on her next date. And, oh, cool. And her next date is with Scooter, and they take off going, and he says he has a surprise. He's going to ask her something. Yep. And he goes, oh, she's so gushy, thinking that they go to the beach, get ready. And they got there surfing, and then this is when the gag, and it's not a very good gag. Hold it, baby. Stay right tight. Hang on. Go steady. Hanging on steady. Not the kind of steady she had in mind. And it's a fun, oh wow, look at this. Now you can be the monster you've always wanted to be. Got creepy crawlers. I had creepy crawlers when I was a kid. And then Fright Factory, where you have all kinds of prosthetic appliances you can do. Oh, cool. So that's all I've got to share with you this time with Swing with Scooter. Yeehaw! No, that's the wrong one. Wow, man. Cool, groovy, baby. Very shagadelic, baby. Yeah. Yeah, that's how he would sound a lot like Austin Powers. Okay, that's it. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. Do leave your comments down below. Have you read Scooter? Do you know anything about Scooter? Do you know anybody got to answer my question about if you know if it's ever been reprinted anywhere? All that stuff. Let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics are art.